Hi everybody, welcome back to Shotlet Family Firewood. We are back on the tree shear job. We got a little bit of snow, but the good thing is we got cold weather. So the ground is froze again. It's about 12 degrees out, so it's chilly. We're letting the skid loader warm up a little bit. We got the tree shear hooked on and the hydraulics hooked up, and we're going to get to work here. Really want to try and show off what this tree shear is capable of today. So come along, let's get this thing going. Okay guys, so this is kind of where we let off. See how that's the last row of corn. The trees are all hanging way over down that way. Now you come this way and I got a lot of brush still here, but you can see how it opens up the top, you know. This tree shear really does make a difference. Once we get some of that brush out of the way there, we might still be able to come back and clip some more of those off that hang over. But think about how much better that is for the combine coming across there. So there was a down tree here a couple of years ago. We pushed that up, but down here it gets relatively thick. So we're working this way, and we're gonna get started here a little bit. Alright guys, I slowed down. We're going to take this tree down. So the tree shear is all the way open, and this is a box elder, I believe, and we're going to cut this down. So what I'm going to do is try and set you up on a tripod. We'll try and show you the height of this tree, and we'll try and let you see it go down. Alright, you can see right in the center there, right here. Tree goes up there a ways. We're gonna go take that one down right now. Alright guys, that's clearly faster than a chainsaw, and then having the ability of the skid loader to move that after it was cut down. And, you know, it is a box elder, but I'm gonna have a real good log on this end of things. And I mean, honestly, we could probably save some of the other end here too, but it's box elder, we don't need to. You know, it grows everywhere around here, but I wouldn't pass up this log. So I don't know what size that is. My tape measure's in the truck, but it's got to be a good 15, 16 inch diameter. And yeah, that's the convenience of that tree shear, man. That anyway, that's the convenience of that. That's the convenience of that tree shear. And you know, this area, this was that first little bit that we've done, you know, the first 15 minutes with recording, and look how open that is in there now. All that more sunlight on the corn, and the trees not scratching on the equipment. So really is a positive. So we're gonna keep moving, and I'll try and record some from inside the skid loader. Pick this piece off we just cut off that tree. This is just going to be brush, it'll be burned, but we can turn it, put it behind us, and now no worries, it's out of our way. So you can see this honeysuckle right in front of us, the real thin stuff here, but we can just put this on the ground and we kind of run it over and cuts it right off. And actually it pulled the roots out. And there it's off. So doesn't want to pull out. This is little cherry trees here. So what we do is we'll close the teeth almost all the way, and then we pull those right out of the ground too. And that root ball right out of the ground. Move that back in our brush pile. Keep it behind us. Looks like another little elm and a mulberry. These are probably both good enough to make sections of firewood. So just that easy, we cut the elm off. Section of that is firewood. And here's that mulberry. Let's see if we can get you down. Show you the action on the bottom here. So it is open enough to get around the tree. The farther you get it into the jaw, the better. Brush toward the fence line. I can once I cut the brush off with a good log, then we can just pile the brush up to burn it. So here's a real good sized walnut. I don't know which way it's leaning, so I don't want to drive underneath the leaning side. But there's a fence. There's a fence here on this one, so we got to go just over the fence. There's actually a fence post right underneath the tree here right now. That's a good, I don't know, 12-inch walnut. And it's cut. Just that fast. And there'll be a couple of good walnut logs in there for firewood. Good walnut log on this end. where we can collect it, keep the brush on that end, and just be able to pile that brush later on with the grapple. So now it looks like we got a couple of cherries. There's a little alum here. Actually, this walnut. Little walnut here. Leaning way over the fence over here. So we get that out of the way. Box elder. It's on the other side of the fence, but it's leaning up over the field. So we're going to get down to fence level. There's probably another 8 or 10 inch tree. Get it as far into the jaws as we can because that's where it's stronger. Staying over the fence. Stump there. all the way down to the corner here. I gotta talk to my dad before I keep going. This is gonna take him forever to burn. But let's drive by, kind of show you all the logs we have pulled out for, yeah, quite a few cherry again. There's one really nice big elm, a couple mulberries, but you can just see how much more open that is than it was when we were coming down. We just got done doing our live probably a half hour ago, so we made quite a bit of progress. But I think what I'm going to do now is grab the chainsaw and the gravel bucket, and we'll come back down here and we'll start cutting this stuff up the length. I think it's not terribly cold out. But we got, oh man, there might be 4 or 5 loads of logs laid out here when we get her done. We went farther than I thought in just a couple hours. How clean it is and how many logs we got laid out here. So I'm really happy with that. I think my brother, when he combines this, will be in a lot better mood. My dad will be happy when he's planting it. But there's going to be a heck of a pile of brush to burn. It just takes him a long time to clean them up. So this is where we started this morning. We went all the way down. You can see we went all the way down that far, down to that pine tree. So yeah, let's go get the grapple and see about getting the chainsaw started. Alright guys, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to start getting some of these limbed up for up to trailer length. I'm going to kind of concentrate on this first section here. Once I get those cut up to length, we will load them in the trailer. But brought the old Dolmar 111 out, and we'll get a little action here. It took me a little longer than I had hoped. Always does when you're working alone. And my phone ran dead, but we got one load on the trailer. There's quite a bit more wood out there, but we got a nice big load of mixed hardwood on the trailer. And with my phone being almost dead, I'm gonna have to wrap up this video here and say that I truly appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.